model all of these traits. I mean, as moms, we want to model these things for our children, right? We want to grow them up in the knowledge of God and the wisdom and the discernment that He's given us. But here's what brings it all together. In each of these 8 terms, and in every single instance of the biblical use of the word discernment, it involves humans listening to God, to the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and then using their minds, emotions, and senses to make wise decisions. Now, if we polled this audience, I bet every single one of us would say, I want to make wise decisions. I want to live in the ways of the Lord. I want to choose well. But oftentimes, we don't really understand how to do that, how exactly we go about that process. Let me break it down a little bit for you, just that statement alone. We've got the spiritual side. As beings that God created, we're spiritual, emotional, and physical all in one. We're not separated into different entities. We aren't just spiritual at one time and emotional at another. We're not just physical. We're always this integrated whole. So this process of discernment, this wise decision-making that we're going to talk about today, has a spiritual component of listening to God, listening to the Holy Spirit's ongoing guidance, daily, for you, specific to your circumstances. Not just general, as far as reading the Bible and it generally means this, but what's going on in your life for that family member who's struggling. The wisdom that you need when your son is freaking out in Target. You know, I mean, yeah, we need this daily, that listening to God ongoing. And we also need to learn how to use our mind and emotions and our senses, incorporating our very physical bodies into this process of decision making. Sometimes we're afraid of that side of it. It's much easier to think of things in a purely esoteric or spiritual means because it sort of lets us off the hook. It's like, oh, well, that's kind of hard. It's sort of spiritual. But no, this is a very real, tangible, in our daily lives, in everything that we're going through kind of process. Discernment is not so much a method as it is a kind of life. It's a kind of a spirit-filled way of thinking and acting that helps us to commonly and habitually make wise decisions. That forms the fabric of our lives. You know, just as a piece of fabric is woven together with many threads, our choices weave together the fabric of our life. We all see that, but sometimes we don't take that step back and sort of look at it. You know, every single one of our decisions, well, okay, maybe not the paperclip one, but, you know, our decisions are all weaving together a fabric of who we are. What do we want that fabric to look like? Sometimes I feel like I'm the underside of the tapestry, you know, all messed up with the threads going this way and that. But God is weaving this amazing thing through my life.